So for the second card, I really wanted to make a card that was featuring this amazing Ginko leaf die cut. So this Ginko leaf, when you die cut it, actually creates this amazing texture into the paper, which is really, really cool. So I actually chose three different papers, three different green papers that show the texture beautifully. So we have our suede paper, our shimmery paper, which is the text weight, and a 100-pound pop tone jelly bean green, which also shows the texture amazingly. Then for the inside of the card, I have this gold mirror card that I also die cut the Ginko leaf out of. And again, the texture is just absolutely stunning. I love it. So on the inside of our card, you're going to see that I did a metallic splatter, which I absolutely love. If you're looking at this and you're like, you know what, I prefer that on the outside, feel free to fold this the opposite and have it on the outside. That's not a problem. But I liked it on the inside because I liked that it tied the color from green back to the inside of the card. All right, so to put the card together, we're going to start with our 100-pound dark, or that kind of green 100-pound jelly bean green paper. I'm going to put double-sided tape on the back side on all four sides. And that's just going to mount on the front of our card there with a little, I would say it's probably about a 16-inch border on all four sides. And then we're going to go with the gold. The gold also has a green splatter on it because, again, I wanted to tie that color in a little bit more and make the background a little bit more exciting and not so stark and plain. Even though the gold isn't really plain, I wanted to just make it a bit more fun. All right, so then we're going to mount this on the front of our card here on top of the green. Again, you're going to end up with a really small border. I would say about 16th-inch border on all four sides. Okay. So now for this part. So when you are laying down your Ginko leaves, you want to make it look like they're scattered, okay? So I'm going to have my sentiment will be on the very front that says sending love. So I'm poking out my little inside bits here. So this is going to be right here. So I want the background behind this I want to make sure that it's not going to be too busy, okay? So just kind of keeping that information in mind as we're creating our cards here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of, if you're ever wondering like how to make it look scattered, you can kind of toss the leaves, not the gold one, onto your paper, and then that will sometimes help kind of make it look a little bit more balanced. And I like to have my two of the same kind of opposite from each other on the page. So that way you don't have two of the exact same leaf right next to each other. So I can see that's what's kind of going on here. All right, so once you have kind of a nice scattering of your leaves and it's all a little different and kind of fun, then you can figure out where you're gonna put your little sentiment. So the sentiment's gonna go right there. So after you figure out where your little leaves are gonna go, what I like to do is lift this up and put a little bit of my adhesive on the back side of that as I'm going through each leaf. That way I don't accidentally get them out of order or put them in weird places. And sometimes when you pick up a shape that you decide where you're laying, you're like, wait, how did it go? And so by doing this, by holding it in place and then lifting up a side and adding a little bit of adhesive underneath it, then we know that it's going to kind of stay in place. Okay, so then we have our little stem here. I'm going to flip that over. And then we got this little guy here. Alright, and then we got this little guy on the back side. I'm at the store today in case you guys were wondering. We're gonna lay that down there, and then I got this little last guy here. Alright, so now you have all of your leaves in place. Whoops, I missed one. And you'll notice I'm mostly focused on gluing down the leaves and not so much the stems. Of course, we can go back in and glue down our stems, especially if they're not staying in place. But that will at least give us a nice assortment that are kind of filling up our space and making them look kind of scattered. Now I'm going to put my adhesive on the back side of my little sentiment. Boop, boop, boop. And not across the whole thing, just kind of here and there. And then we're going to put that on the front of our card right there in the middle. And I like the sending love sentiment. I think that fits really nicely. And then to tie in that vibrant gold from the front of the card to the inside, I'm going to put my little metallic gold Ginko leaf on the inside of my card on the right hand side. And that guy's going to go right there. All right, and there we have our card. Isn't that so fun? I just absolutely love that, and I love the metallic gold Ginko on the inside. All right, on to the next one.